Alright, hey everyone, this is Nitro. So in this video I am going to be doing a live stream of the Apex Finals. So it looks like Roylee is apparently considered the underdog in this fight in terms of the votes, although it's still reasonably close, 5,000 votes versus 7,000. So let's take a look at the pick ban phase of this match. So we're currently waiting for the players to enter, so there is a little bit of a delay before this starts. Now, taking a look at Roylee on the left, let's compare their parties. Right, both sides have Claret, both sides have Leonhardt, Zerida. Are they running duplicate parties? I think they are. They're both running the full meta box, and there is no difference whatsoever between their two parties. So, oh wait, no, there is one difference. Roylee has Lana, and Lemons has Bernhard. So, that is the one difference, and in many ways, I think Lemons has the better overall choice, right? Bernhard can tank, he can AoE with fixed damage, applying cannot be healed, whereas Lana is very much just a... I mean, she's an AoE attacker with Black Hole, and she can also do single target strikes with Dark Reaper, Lightning Strike, and Freeze Strike. But given the choice between the two, I do favor Bernhard over Lana. I use both, so, and that's my personal preference. Like, I have a 6-star Lana and I have a 5-star Bernhard, and I prefer a 5-star Bernhard, so that's actually saying a lot. In any case, so it's a, I'd say overall the box favors Lemons over Roylee, but it's such a minor thing. I mean, that we'll see how it plays out ultimately. Yeah, the biggest reason for that change, for favoring Bernhard as well, is Lana can't faction buff herself, and it's honestly pretty hard to get a faction buff for Lana. Right? If you use Luna, you don't really want her to bring a faction buff. You know, so the only way she can really get a faction buff is via bozel. So we'll see. So Lemons has a clear first ban, which is Landius, and surprisingly Roylee doesn't seem to have had a strategy for this coming in. I don't know why Roylee's taking so long on the first ban. Took him a while to decide on Landius. Yeah, very odd. So Roylee chooses Jugler. Let's see if what kind of a accessory Roylee has on his Jugler for this fight. Is it still the 4 mobility accessory, or has it changed? So, both sides being very traditional, Jugler and Jugler choice. And if it goes more or less as expected, the second ban is likely Liana and Iris. Yes. So, exactly as predicted, Liana and Iris. And I'm expecting the exact same ban more or less onto Roylee. Oh! Interesting. Lemons decided to get rid of Tiaris instead of Iris. Well, thanks for subscribing. That's a very interesting choice. We'll see if it pays off for Lemons. Continuing on though. So, Zerida Listel ban. And Roylee should really be copying this. I don't know why he's taking so much time. He's wasting all his backup time. Oh. Okay. He chose to ban Luna and Listel instead of Zerida. meaning Roylee did not change his Jugler's accessory. Angry Joe, I occasionally stream my Apex Arena matches, but that's occasionally. I also sometimes stream my Timeless Trials. I refuse to believe Roylee has no Bracer emblems. That just, no way. He has a lot of them. It's just whether he changed up the gear on Jugler or not, which he decided not to. So yeah. So Lemons clearly chooses Zerida. I mean, Bloodthirster Zerida. Why would you not bring a Bloodthirster Zerida if you're given the opportunity as a third pick? Right? So that, I mean, wow. Continuing on. So Clarets and bozel. I guess Roylee didn't choose to change anything up with his character's equipment for this finals, right? For example, he could have considered bringing a Ragnarok-equipped Luna, you know, after he faced one. He could have changed his Jugler to, you know, Bracer emblem, stuff like that. I just voted on Roylee because if he manages to win, I'll get more gold. But it didn't really matter. Okay, so Lemons gets to play Elwyn. Sword Soul on the enemy Jugler. Lemons loses Leonhardt now. And Lemons has a quick pick of Rachel. So, I have to wonder, Roylee never chooses to play his Luna. I've never seen him play Luna. And I really have to wonder why. But just from looking at this pick ban phase so far, I'd say Lemons is going to win this first match. I don't know, Crazy Prof. They all make quite a few mistakes. In particular, Roylee's match yesterday, he did make quite a few mistakes. But just a quick look at this, I favor Lemons over Roylee, for sure. I really don't think Roylee can make proper use of the teleport skill on Iris. So, we'll see though. I mean, for example, I feel Roylee's battle strategy will be to teleport Leonhardt forward, right? And then have him double AoE or whatever. But it then comes down to whether Leonhardt can survive Zerida, right? So it'll be 20% damage reduction on Leonhardt against presumably an attack blessing Zerida, right? Oh, interesting. Non-Bloodthirster. Why? I don't get that. I really don't. I would have 100% gone for a Bloodthirster Zerida in this case because Bloodthirster Zerida can likely kill Lana, Iris, and bozel. So that's an interesting choice. We'll see if it works out for him. Actually, it's now become very interesting because Roylee has two summons, right? Lana and bozel. And Lemons actually has no summons at all. So suddenly, due to skill picks, I don't know. Suddenly, just because of the skill selection, I think Lemons may be in trouble. No, Roylee did not go for... Roylee didn't go for an AoE composition. Roylee went for a... Oh, he did go for an AoE comp... Okay, that's really weird. Yeah, you're right. Roylee made skill selections I would not have done. I would have brought on bozel, faction buff, summon undead, and fireball. And it would have brought on Lena... I probably would have brought on Lena Dark Reaper, Free Strike, and Summon. So, yeah. I don't know why Roylee didn't bring a faction buff, but okay, it's his choice. Mass resist? What? This is getting weirder. Okay. Roylee brought some very weird skills on his characters. They're not skills I would have brought 100%. Iris, I probably would have done Le Jardin Iris. Shield, rather than Mass Resist. Oh, I know why he did Mass Resist. He did Mass Resist to buff up his bozel. Right? 30% magic defense increase can buff up bozel. So that he doesn't bring a faction buff. But that still leaves Lena with a faction buff. So... yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, Viz, that makes a lot of sense as well. Yes, Zerida's Meteor faction buff will buff up Jugler so that Jugler can bring Triton, Great Dragon Barrier, and have Beast Shock hit that much harder. Yes, that makes a lot of sense, but despite that, I still would have favored Bloodthirster Zerida in this kind of situation. Because Zerida, without Bloodthirster, can't be attacking pretty aggressively, right? So she can use Shadow Raid once, and then that's it. So we'll see. I mean, I guess Roylee's strategy here is debuff hell, right? Lena Black Hole, 2 debuffs. Bozel Black Hole, probably 3 or 4 debuffs, right? 2 from Black Hole, 1 from Talent, and then 1 from Miracle Staff, presumably. So that's a total of 5 to 6 random debuffs on all the enemy characters. But yeah, I don't get it. Overall, no, they're both whales. They're both really major whales. This is a very, I guess, unique final. I don't know how else to describe it. Nothing has gone the way I would have predicted for the pick ban already. So, and nothing has gone the way I would have predicted for skill selection either. Except for 2 summons, I guess, for Roylee. That was the one thing that could be predicted. Same with Leonhardt, I guess, because Leonhardt's skills really don't change much. But other than that, yeah, let's just see how this plays out. Not Woodward. Yeah, I do get a bit of free crystals for doing commentary videos and such. So, let's see how this plays out, ultimately. So, this Tiaris has 707 int, but it's not green, meaning the Tiaris enchant is not full moon. So it should be crystal. That's an incredibly high intelligence value for a crystal enchant, I have to say. not really true. There's a cap of around 1,200 to 1,800 per month. Notorious is because I don't think they have any other method of checking who are streamers. Whereas we can submit like a submission to them so that they can give us the streamer badge. They can't really do that for anyone else. Alright. So, Lemon takes the offensive and tosses out Arcane Blast right away, hitting Jugler. And in large part, that is totally doable because of Zerida, right? If Roylee moves, let's say, Lena into attack range, Zerida can move in and counter. Right? With 7 movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is interesting. This is actually very, very interesting. I wish I could select Zerida and see just exactly how far she can move. Right? Instead, I have to count tiles right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which is here. Jugler has 4 mobility, so it can actually move up to here and guard Rachel right away. And Roylee has no ability to one-shot this Rachel. Right? So after thinking about it, Roylee tosses out Black Hole. Wow! Double silence! Okay, those are some incredible... Like, those are just about the buffs... sorry, the debuffs Roylee wanted to get, right? Damage reduction, silence. And then Elwyn gets silence, cannot heal yourself. So the question here is, what kind of accessory does Tiaris have? If it's Goddess Tier, for example, it can remove 2 debuffs with a mass heal, right? And get rid of both of them. But actually, Zerida's 7 mobility is actually making her unable to attack properly right now. It was not enough mobility for her to get in and strike because of the lake, the water in the middle. Okay, that's interesting. Teleporting Jugler. Oh, so he can move in here and Beast Shock. Smart. Very smart, right? The 4 mobility Jugler with that teleport can go 1, 2, 3, 4 into water, Beast Shock, and wipe out Rachel. Unless, and even if he can't do that, if this tile is blocked, Jugler can move into this tile and Beast Shock anyways. And that will disable the enemy Jugler's guard, allowing other characters to strike Rachel. The only questionable thing is, why didn't Roylee use his instant transfer on the first turn? I guess he didn't expect combat to occur this quickly. But yeah. So he won't... I mean, Leonhardt doesn't need the extra 1 mobility. He can totally just move forward, right? Launch Ethereal Fire Machete, and so on. Ah! And because Jugler was teleported to the wrong spot, Zerida is able to block the Beast Shock effect. What Roylee should have done with that teleport, in truth, was teleport right here. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, he could Beast Shock here, or 1, 2, 3, 4, or Beast Shock here. Because he teleported directly to this tile, Beast Shock has now been stopped. So, error with Roylee's teleport. And that's going to cost him. He has no way to disable Jugler's guard now. More debuff hell. So double black hole now. And it didn't apply anywhere near as many debuffs as I expected it to. Right. Ah, and yes, Tierra's has Goddess Tier. The Mass Seal removed 2 debuffs, but most of Zerida's, or most of Lemon's party is still silenced. Right. So Rachel has Silence and Mobility debuff. Jugler cannot use active skills, so no B shock for him. Oof, that's rough. But he still has another heal next turn that Tierras can do, and that can remove that last debuff on Jugler. So actually, even though Lemons looks like he's in a pretty rough situation with the debuffs, he can remove most of these with his Tierras next turn. Most, not all. So yeah. Now the question is, does Leonhardt move here, Ethereal Fire Machete, right, to strike Elwyn? And then does he move in even further and use his Fusion, Dark Emperor Sword? He has that opportunity. And I guess this is what Roylee is making a decision on. Ninja... No. Zerida does not hit anywhere near hard enough to kill a Jugler with this much hit points. Especially when Jugler has Triton active, so that Lobster Behemoths take 50% damage. In truth, Zerida's one-shot ability primarily comes from a Bloodthirster version. A Zerida built like this, I'm honestly not sure there's very many characters that can one-shot. Especially when the bandits are damaged. It could probably one-shot Lana. Probably. But this is actually a very rough situation, because Zerida no longer has Hide and Seek active as well. So no damage taken decrease of 30%, right? No crit and crit damage increase of 30%. Although Miracle will certainly help, and help a lot. Yeah, I don't like what Roylee did last turn. I think Roylee should have taking the stab with Ethereal Fire Machete and Fusion Dark Emperor Sword. I would have. Right? But I guess he teleported forward so that he got the extra stat boost first, right? Because if he attacked from here, he would have had 20% less stats increase, right? So by teleporting forward, being away from everyone else, Leonhardt is now guaranteed to have the 14-13 attack for his AoEs, allowing him to do that. Immunity to fixed damage. Due to Great Dragon Barrier. So Leonhardt's Blood Sword Hunting did absolutely nothing. And so Roylee moves. Mistake there. He moved this far back, which meant he was now in range of Jugler. So he lost. He should have lost the 20%. Oh! I take that back. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know this, but at 6 stars, Asura Sword becomes when there are no allies within 1 block of you. All attributes are increased by 20%. So he was actually able to move Leonhardt into this tile. and still do the full damage, but it was not enough to kill Zerida. Makes me wish I had a 6-star Leonhardt now. Okay. How lucky can Roylee get? His single target strike applies cannot heal yourself onto the enemy juggler. And yes, Elwyn with 7 mobility breeze can certainly crush Roylee. But yeah, it's basically over at this point, right? Zerida, melee attack with Shadow Raid, because it's Extreme Magic Bow equipped, gets to one-shot bozel. Now that it was at full health with Miracle. And then next, you know, Lemons can have Elwyn, Sword Soul Strike, Jugler. Boom. Yeah. Actually, Ragnarok Elwyn is actually pretty key for PvP. That's what my Elwyn is being built towards as well. So, completely demolished Roylee, and it's actually primarily due to Lemons using Miracle at the critical time. That Miracle completely won Lemons this match, right? Of course, the other key is Roylee truly did not have a faction buff for Bozel and Lena. You know? Goodbye, Iris. Crazy Prof? I don't know anyone who uses Cherie for PvP. So you can use it on both of them. Long story short. When you need the Ragnarok on Cherie, give it to her. When you need the Ragnarok on Elwyn for PvP, give it to him. Yes, my Leonhardt is at 5 stars. I'll actually go in detail in tomorrow's Nitro setup video about my current struggles with building up characters to 6 stars. There's just too many characters I need to raise to 6 stars. And not enough shard grinding. So, but yeah, Crazy Prof. On the whole, I would use that Ragnarok on both of them. Long story short. And we're done. This battle really does show how good the Extreme Magic Bow Zerida is. Yeah. That was... Why would you ever let your opponent play Zerida without being... Yeah, Yeah. We'll just leave it at that. I don't know why Roylee let Lemons play Zerida, long story short. So, interestingly enough though, maybe the faction buff version of Zerida made a lot of sense. I think Lemons was actually right there, overall, right? Faction buffing Jugler made Jugler that much tougher. You know? I mean, Jugler's already really tough with his 2 guard skills, but getting an additional 20% defense and 30% magic defense made Jugler even stronger. So... And Roylee took the extreme path that I disagree with. Roylee decided to ban Jugler first instead of Landius. Well, because of the map, it does kind of make sense actually, right? There's so much water on this map that maybe banning Jugler was the right choice. So we'll see. But really, the loss last game was letting Lemons play Zerida. Truly. If Roylee had followed the standard ban on the 3rd step, which was Zerida and Listel, I wouldn't say Roylee would have won, but it would have been closer. Yeah, good luck with that. You also have Yulia coming next week. And then, if you're serious about Ancient's Call, there's a lot of characters you likely have to build for Ancient's Call as well. So, like I said, I'll go over the, I think, roughly 12 characters that are in my to-build list. Roughly 120 Merad. So, okay, let's go back to the pick ban phase. I was totally ignoring it. So, Roylee is allowed to play Iris again, whereas Lemons chooses Rachel for character number 2. Wait, what's happened here? Okay, Roylee banned Jugler first, then decided to ban Chloe and Liana? No. Sorry. Then decided to ban Listel and I guess Claret. And then banned Liana and Chloe for the 3rd step. This pick ban has gone rather wild, hasn't it? So, because Roylee managed to play Listel. So it was Landius first, I guess, then the 2 healers, right? Liana and Chloe, and then Leonhardt and Zerida, I guess, and now Rachel and bozel. So both sides have gone very much off the standard ban method. It's interesting. I mean, I think Roylee's ban method is correct since Landius was played, right? With Landius, you can't really afford to face a Claret who can attack twice with a faction buff. So that did make a lot of sense. Lemons, though, was the surprise, allowing Listel to be picked. But I'm not going to knock on Lemon's strategies in general. Lemons usually has a reason behind his methods that we're not likely to see at this time. Yeah, but with that said, I'm not sure Roylee had any other ban choices in that case, right? He had to get rid of Claret for the 2nd ban. Merad, just watch my way to build Yulia video. I've gotten too lazy to explain how good Yulia is. So, Roylee, Roylee played Luna for once. Finally. And Elwyn. So Elwyn for both sides. Lemons has a interesting party overall. Iris, Tieres, Rachel, so 3 healers effectively. Elwyn, who can be teleported forward by Iris if necessary. Landius, who is a highly mobile tank. Roylee, on the other hand, has Luna, who can be faction buffed by Jugler. The question is what skills will Jugler bring? Presumably he's going to bring the faction buff, right? And if he brings the faction buff, then Luna has one-shot capability. But that one-shot would only kill Landius for the first time. So unless Roylee has Elwyn one-shot Landius, and then Luna one-shot someone else, and so on. So let's see how this plays out. Actually, mass resist Luna. Actually, mass resist would apply to Listel, Luna, and Jugler. So, yeah, it's very possible in this battle, mass resist will be very critical and useful. This is very, looking at this, I can't tell who's going to win. It will depend on player skill. I feel Roylee may have a slight advantage overall in the characters, but then again, I could be totally off here. Really could go either way. Especially since keep in mind that Rachel's Arcane Blast does apply 30% magic defense reduction. And since Roylee only has one healer, Iris, ultimately, it may be a little bit tough for Roylee to remove that effect. But let's see how this goes. Yeah, no mass resist. But faction buff on Jugler. So, works out. Okay, why? Oh, actually, it makes sense, I think. Mindbore Blood Dance because there's too many healers for Lemons, making Roylee think that Reaper's Touch is not that necessary. Yeah, I agree with what Zeki said. Otherwise, we'd be watching this all night. So this is going to be interesting. From pick ban, I feel Roylee has the advantage. But, once again, I can be totally wrong on that, right? For example, Lemons has enough healers to basically deal with Listel's debuffs, in truth. Now, with that said, Listel's Blood Dance will definitely do the full damage of, 6,000 damage or so? To everyone in Lemon's party. It should. Right? I don't see a single character here with a skill increase. Except for Landius, but Landius should be an Overlord's badge. Should be, anyways. It wouldn't surprise me if Landius gave a bracer. It really wouldn't. Yeah, it really wouldn't surprise me if this Landius had a bracer emblem instead. But we'll see. It won't be the first thing, first time Lemons did something anti-meta to counter a situation he expected, right? For example, that might in fact be why Lemons chose to let Roylee play Listel. But we'll see. Yeah, Ling Ling, it's just mainly for PvP. I mean, I use my Elwyn as a Lancer in PvE content. It kind of sort of works, but you definitely lose damage. And there's a lot of targets that Elwyn is meant to kill, whom he can't as a Lancer class. So, in any case, this is very interesting so far. I'm personally convinced that this Landius has a bracer emblem, but we'll see if I'm correct or not. Nope, Marad, you gotta guess. And for example, that's why yesterday the Ragnarok Luna was such a huge surprise, right? You basically don't know unless you see, there's hints. Like for example, a skill increase means all stats plus 5% equipment, which means either Overlord's Badge or Bracer Emblem, right? And the reason I'm so suspicious of this Landius is because it has much higher magic defense than it should, right? 640 magic defense is not a normal stat for Landius. So unless it had maybe a Bracer Emblem to give plus 48 magic defense, it shouldn't be that high. But like I said, I could be wrong. We'll see. So, initially, slow play, Nothing too exciting happening. Well, Elwyn activated Breeze, so now he has 6 mobility. And as soon as he got 6 mobility, Tiaris began with an attack blessing on Elwyn, so that it can charge forward and Sword Soul. And that might be the difference right there, in truth. That Lemons fully prepared for Sword Soul, while Roylee isn't. Right? Because Iris doesn't have shield. Honestly speaking, Roylee's Iris should have had shield, heal, and Le Jardin Iris, in my opinion. That should have been the skill combo on Iris, and then maybe a Goddess tier for the debuffs removal. With this current skill combo, it means Jugler will die as soon as he gets Sword Souled. So we'll see. Shield to prevent healing disable from Sword Soul. The Roylee's basic battle plan is to have Elwyn one-shot Landius, right? And then after that, follow up with his other characters. Whereas Lemon's battle plan is to have Elwyn weaken Jugler, and then finish him off, and then have Landius basically tank everything while getting healed up and kept healthy. Both battle plans have a chance of succeeding. It's going to come down to the details, who plays it out better. And Roylee makes his move. Lemons makes his defensive maneuver, using his Leonhardt the Iris on Landius to apply as many buffs as Landius can possibly get. Oh! Oh! Oh, that is rough. That seal on Elwyn, may change things up a bit. It just might. It depends. Because ultimately it is only 3 debuffs, right? Lemons has the ability to remove 3 with all his different characters. So Mass Seal first. Goddess Tier. Activating and reducing. So, Elwyn, Frontal Assault now. The one shot has succeeded. So, the Stell's AoE beforehand has made it a success. And yeah. Yeah, Roylee has a massive advantage now, because Luna can now come charging in to kill something. There's very, very few win conditions for Lemons at this point. Almost none, in truth. So Roylee with the comeback in the second stage. Once again though, battle was won in pick ban, right? The only reason Lemons might continue to play this is to see just what equipment is on Luna. I would keep playing it the way he's doing, in truth. Right? I want to know what weapon Luna has, right? Whether it's a Ragnarok or whether it's a Cursed Lance. Because that can very much help for the final match. And this is where we get to see it. Cursed Lance, no Ragnarok damage. So now Lemon knows, you know, this is not a Luna that can one-shot Jugler. No. So, Elwyn gets to kill off Jugler. Listel has Blood Dance. Now that's an interesting choice. I mean, it makes sense. Get rid of the healers while you can. And I guess what Roylee can do is, if Tieris applies Healing Light on Elwyn, Lestel can Blood Dance and make him take damage next turn, right? So yeah, it's all but over. You know, Blood Dance here, hit them both. And if whoever Elwyn attacks, he'll kill himself next turn. Yeah, I mean, it was over once Roylee got the Langrisser kill. That was where the battle was instantly won. But, you know, like I said, Lemons clearly played that out to know what gear is on the enemy Luna. And interesting, Roylee went back to banning Langrisser instead of Jugler. I don't know. I would have stuck with that previous battle plan if I were Roylee, right? Ban Jugler, then face Langrisser. But that's just me. I don't know. So this is the final match. Whoever wins this match will be the Season 1 winner. What's my favorite Apex map? Whew. I hate this one. I can tell you that. I really dislike this one, Floating Courtyard. But in large part, that's because my party is terrible for it. As for my favorite one, I think the one that I like the most is the one that has small lakes, and it's a very long map. I can't recall what it's called though. It's not lakes in the center area. It's like a small lake here, a small lake up here. That's like 2 tiles. And then it's a very long map that you march across. I generally don't like the maps that have a lake right in the center, because those maps really do favor Jugler. Huh. Non-meta bans yet again. Roylee gets to play Zerida this time, while Lemons played bozel early. Actually, no, sorry, let me take that back. That was indeed meta bans, but Roylee played Zerida second, ignoring healers. And that is why Roylee no longer has a healer to deploy. Lemons also played bozel second, but for whatever reason, Roylee didn't ban all of Lemons' healers. So Lemons was able to play Chloe, and he... this is interesting, actually. So Roylee is going full offense for this final fight. Major meta change here. Yeah, Roylee is not going for healing at all. He is going for the killing blow right away. And that's fine, right? Zerida can faction buff up Jugler. The faction buff does provide some healing to these two, you know. And with a faction buff on Jugler, Jugler can one-shot one of the enemy characters with Beast Shock. So Zerida should be a guaranteed kill on someone. Jugler should be a guaranteed kill on someone. Claret, presumably, is a guaranteed kill on someone as well. So he's decided to change it up. You know, not doing the standard battle strategy. And I think that's a very, very wise choice. Right? And keep in mind, Claret also benefits from Zerida's faction buff. So all of them will heal after combat and hit very hard. This one's iffy to me. Roylee really likes Lena. I guess... Actually, no. It's not iffy. Lena is played for summon. In case bozel drops a summon for turn manipulation, Roylee can do the same with Lena. It's to prevent turn manipulation, yes. So Lemons has Luna for one-shot potential. And Roylee decided to go for Rachel for another healer, basically, for the last character. I'm not sure that's a wise choice. But hey, it can definitely work, right? Rachel can self-buff with Gospel, and then her attack can one-shot targets, and she can heal allies, so it's not a bad choice either. And I guess between Rachel, who can fly, and Elwyn, who is stuck on the land, yeah, it's certainly a reasonable choice. To be fair, I'm not familiar enough with Rachel myself to 100% say that this is a bad choice. But knowing what I know about Rachel, this should work out fine. They should both be 6 stars for both players, so they have one-shot potential. And yeah, especially when they run Gospel, Meditation, and I guess Dark Reaper. That's the most likely skill combo, I presume. I could be wrong. We'll see. Yes. Thank you, Notorious Thief. Plane of Strife is the map that I was talking about earlier. Yes, Lukid, I tend to turn off the banter because there are, as some people have said, sometimes it's interesting and then sometimes there's some terrible comments. Loiri. So once again, another battle that can go either way. Bozel here. Fireball, Black Hole, Summon. Lemons has what I think is one of the better combos in terms of skill choices for Bozel in this situation. And then Lemons Rachel chooses to bring Lightning Strike, Gospel, and Arcane Blast, which is a pretty valid combo. On the other hand, same skill combo. So rather than Dark Reaper, they both chose to bring Arcane Blast. Instead of Meditation, they both chose to bring Lightning Strike. So I guess Rachel, with just Gospel, is enough to one-shot things, right? At 6 stars, it makes a lot of sense. At 6 stars, Rachel will have the 30% increased damage from the talent, so that should work fine. And I am seeing a lot of comments about me. That is why I have banter off most of the time. You know, the battle should focus on the 2 players, not on me. Alright, so... Oh my god. Maybe I should just turn banter off again. Alright, this is kind of interesting, how aggressive Lemons is being with his summon. Is there a reason why? Oh, I see why. I think the most likely choice for Lemons to do this is because he's trying to prevent Zerida from moving too far forward with this summon. Right? He's offering it as a sacrifice to prevent Zerida from charging forward on his first turn and then activating Breeze to be able to target anything. It worked, right? Roylee was forced to keep Zerida back to be able to activate the faction buff. And Breeze activated, but because Zerida is so far back, it won't really help. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to turn off the banter again. So... certainly an interesting choice on Lemon's part, you know. At least it delays Roylee's advance. But both of them are hovering pretty far back anyways, so I don't know. Now, it is very annoying to deal with this because of Luna, right? But Roylee should be able to just have... yeah, that. Freeze Strike, Kill Summon, and now Turn Manipulation is in place for Roylee as player 2. So, I don't agree with that Rachel move. I personally, if I was Lemons there, I personally would have moved the summon back first. Right? Because moving the summon back first does prevent turn manipulation for this turn, first of all. And second of all, by moving it back, the summon may not necessarily be attacked this early. At the very least, Roylee would have to, let's say, move Jugler up, then move Lana to kill the summon. So, I don't know. But we'll see how it plays out. At least for now, Lemons for the next 4 turns, he can't drop a summon. Crazy Prof, on the whole, I agree. I favor Roylee in this battle too. Roylee has the better overall party and a summon advantage. So, Roylee kept his best strategies for last. That's what this came out as, right? He started off with a pretty weak play in the first battle. Then the second battle, he played his Luna, which he never played in the tournament so far, I think. And in this third battle, he went for a completely no-healer strategy and went for a full offensive party. And I think the pick ban here completely surprised Lemons for this third battle. It's really, really going to come down to what this bozel can do though, right? Because Rachel, if she's not silenced, can remove 2 debuffs, for example. But then bozel can potentially apply 4 debuffs. So that may be the make or break factor of this fight. And of course, there is also always the possibility of this being a Ragnarok Luna one-shotting Jugler. But that would just be a trade. We'll see. Claret should 100% be a Ragnarok Claret. So she may also be able to... yeah, she's definitely going to be able to take out the enemy Jugler as well. So realistically, both jugglers are eliminated, right? Luna will probably kill Roylee's juggler, and then what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wind spiral. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's why. Smart. So Luna, being in the south here, is too far away to attack Zerida, where Zerida's gone, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wind spiral. 1, 2, 3. Can't attack Zerida. And Claret was also able to maneuver forward and still have 10 mobility. Zerida, 7 mobility. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can kill bozel and retreats. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, I think Roylee's got this. Yeah. Jugler has to move up here, right? So does Chloe as the poison advances. Roylee now has map control and a summon and the superior party. Oh, wow. Interesting choice of Crush on Claret rather than another attack skill. But I guess that's a choice where it's made because Roylee is assuming... well, Claret should have Ragnarok. If Ragnarok kicks in, Claret will have more hit points than the opponent, allowing her to do more damage. Interesting. If you don't have Overlord's Badge, then Bracer Emblem. If you don't have Bracer Emblem, then honestly, anything. Something that gives hit points. But just keep in mind that you're quite vulnerable to Thousand Hooves attacks. I mean, Leon is used in lower level Langrisser Apex Arena battles because of that. Not everyone has an Overlord's Badge. Oh yeah. As long as Roylee doesn't make any big mistakes here, he should win. Of course, there's always the usual luck-based factors like getting plus mobility, right? Presumably, Chloe and Rachel both have Tenyo's headdress. If they apply, let's say, plus mobility on Luna, that can change the battle up completely, right? Oh, you can certainly give that a try, Crazy Prof. I mean, Thorns Landius with Holy Arc may theoretically one-shot an attacking Elwyn, right? If Thorns triggers, the Elwyn attacking you will probably die. So it's certainly worth testing out. Alright. So the turn manipulation coming into play for Roylee now. He can move 2 characters. But he may choose not to. This is actually, Roylee made a very, very smart choice in terms of skills on his Jugler, as a side note. He decided to give his Juggler Master of Ice to keep the being in water buff on for as long as possible. Because Triton lasts 2 turns, right? Now he can Master of Ice next to be in water again. Then, after Master of Ice's water effect expires, he can Triton once more. So that would be, I guess, the first 6 turns covered. Which should determine the match right there, right? Especially with the mobility advantage of Roylee's party. By comparison, Lemons has not done anything like that. So, next turn, Jugler will lose Triton. And once Triton is down, I think once Triton is down, that's when Roylee will strike. So, Roylee will not attack this turn, but next turn, he will. Or I could be totally wrong. Look at that. He went super aggressive with Jugler just now. Not what I would have done. But then, I'm not in the finals, remember? I feel this was over aggressive. I really do. Because now Rachel is totally out of the fight. So Lana could jump in though, because she activated Breeze. Yeah. Did Roylee get a little bit over impatient there? I don't know. But we'll see. Because right now, with that attack and retreat, Zerida is not guarded by Jugler. Jugler does not have Triton up right now. Which means Jugler will die to Luna and then get to retreat back into his Jugler's guard range. Can Rachel nuke Zerida? I certainly wouldn't risk it. She probably could though. But I wouldn't risk it because if Rachel went for Zerida, she would be outside of Jugler's guard range. It's smarter to have Luna Wind Spiral, kill, and retreat here. Right, Luna moves up, attacks, and retreats. And then retreats to, let's say, here. And then Jugler moves up, and then you know, Chloe moves up, and then Rachel moves up, and they're all in Jugler's guard range. So it would be something like Luna ends up here, Jugler ends up here, Chloe next to Jugler, Rachel next to Jugler. More or less. But this is going to be pretty tough. The movement order will be Luna first, then I guess Rachel, then Chloe, and then finally Jugler. Oh, that's actually rough. No, there is a turn where one of them can't be protected. Huh. Well, we'll see. Turn manipulation time. Move the Necromancer. Or Roylee has the opportunity to save Zerida. Up to him. Either option works great. He can either move the Necromancer as the bait character, or move Zerida to have Jugler guard it. Yeah, this is wildly in favor of Roylee now. And Roylee chose to move to Zerida. Makes sense, right? Might as well buff up Claret. Right. If Luna decides to go after Zerida at this point, Luna is suiciding. Because there's no way for Luna to get into Jugler's guard range. Yeah, Lemons really should have gone for Zerida there. That was too conservative, the maneuver with Chloe. Far, far too conservative. I mean, I still think even if Lemons went after Zerida, he was screwed. Don't get me wrong. Because of the turn manipulation with the Necromancer. But at least it would have been a little bit closer. There's no recovery at all now for Lemons. None. Before, Luna could have attacked and retreated. Now, there's no opportunity to kill anything. And have Luna retreat. Yeah, he can not Woodward, but again, there's no opportunity to kill and retreat, and that was the key point. See, what should have been done was Luna kill Zerida, right? Moving up, Wind Spiral, kill, and then retreat 3 tiles into here. But once again, wouldn't have made a difference long term. Yeah, long term wise, Lemons won. Or sorry, Roylee won. Now it's just getting ugly. Yeah. So we were talking about how strong Rachel was earlier, right? So, Rachel, 6 stars with just a lightning strike can one-shot Claret. With Holy Pegasus. And the next step will be Jugler gets to reactivate Triton. So that Jugler's Beast Shock won't actually do much to Lemon's Jugler. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see here. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so Triton was the first step. Roylee moves back. Makes sense. Wait. Roylee kills the summon at this point. Makes sense as well. Don't need to summon anymore. There's no real point for turn manipulation, I guess. Actually, I'm not quite sure that made sense. I mean, it's usually a confident move when you kill your summon like that, meaning I've got this map won. I don't need to move a summon anymore. But, you know, I mean, I personally would have just kept it anyways. Wow, look at that. Overpoweringly powerful Lena? It could one-shot Jugler with a simple freeze strike. I wish I had that kind of Lena. Yeah. Roylee is really flexing at this point. And now Jugler can move in and B-Shock, right? Or not. Don't need that. And battle's over. Roylee wins. Ah, thank you, Adere. Okay, that makes sense. So Lena had the plus 20% int. So that was, yeah, I mean, Roylee really showed in-depth strategic planning in the matches 2 and 3. Okay. Match 1 was just, I guess, Roylee doing whatever. But match 2 and 3, the pick ban showed really in-depth knowledge of the party that he had, right? Lemon stuck with the conservative strategy overall. You know, playing a tank, a healer, and then damage dealers. Roylee went completely away from that. And yes, I am aware that Roylee has multiple people playing or training him, as the case may be. So, regardless, I mean, it was impressive. So there we go. The final champion is... It's the one I voted for. I only put in 1 ticket, but I did vote for Roylee. So, as expected, Roylee was the ultimate winner. And in terms of gold, each ticket was worth 367k. So if I had bought 5 more tickets, it would have been... what? 1.8 million? Oh well. So I would have had an additional million gold coins if I had purchased tickets. You know what? I already have 3 million on hand. Whatever. 1 million doesn't make a huge difference. I'm pretty happy with what I got. Yeah. 367k. Regolio, what is known is Roylee is, I think, friends with the winner of Apex Arena from the Chinese server. So whether that guy helped him play or just trained him in advance in secret with pick ban strategies and so on, regardless, you know, Roylee won. So there we go. I mean, overall, I think this was it was a pretty interesting finals. You know, it was good, and I feel it was good enough that it was worth watching, and it was worthy play from both sides of a finals match. But Roylee clearly showed incredible strategic planning for battles 2 and 3 in terms of the pick ban, and that change in strategy on Roylee's side, whereas Lemons played conservative and standard, was what made all the difference. So, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed this stream. And on that note, Nitro out.